starting to worry. Not that I thought you'd passed away. I was very careful with the venom, but humans are delicate. And I haven't kept one before. Not personally, anyway. There it is, that look. Confusion first, then fear, then realization. It's always realization that hurts the most. Oh, hello, darling. Please don't struggle. I spent hours wrapping those bindings. I'd hate for all that effort to go to waste. No, you're not tied up because I want to hurt you. You're tied up because you keep trying to leave, and I don't like that. Besides, you fell nearly 40 feet into my web. If I let you stand up right now, you'd probably collapse. Humans are terribly fragile creatures. It's one of those things that I find charming about you. Oh, look at that expression. You don't remember me? That's all right. I remember you. I remembered you every day for the last 6 months. Every morning, every evening, every time you wandered through my forest, every time you sat by the river, and every time you read beneath the oak tree. Every time you talked to yourself when you thought nobody was listening, especially that. You talk a lot when you're alone. Did you know that? It's adorable. You told a squirrel about your problems once for nearly 20 minutes. The squirrel wasn't paying attention. But I was. No, don't pull against the bindings. You'll hurt your wrists. I know you want answers. Where are you? Home. Well, my home. Our home eventually. No, don't make that face. It's a lovely place. Warm, safe, hidden. Nobody can bother you here. Nobody can demand things from you. And nobody can hurt you. Nobody can take you away from me. See? Comforting. Why are you staring at the ceiling? Oh, the cocoons. Yes, there are quite a lot of them. But please don't worry. Most of them are empty. Mostly. You look pale. Humans do that when they're frightened. It's fascinating. Your heartbeat's speeding up too. I can hear it. Such a lovely sound. Quick. Desperate. Alive. I think that's one of my favourite things about humans. You always sound like you're running out of time. Because you are. No offence. My name? Oh, you're finally asking the most important questions. Names are complicated. The villagers call me many things. The widow in the woods, the weaver, the hunger beneath the trees. My personal favourite was, "Oh gosh, please run!" Humans can be very creative under pressure. But the oldest name is the simplest. I am the Spider Queen. And before you ask, yes, a real queen. No, there isn't a king. There hasn't been for a very long time, and that's precisely the problem. You see, darling, I've become lonely. Terribly lonely. Do you know how boring immortality is? At first, it's exciting. You watch kingdoms rise and watch empires crumble, watch rivers change course. But then, eventually, you've seen everything. Everything except companionship. That's much rarer. Especially genuine companionship. Most people only speak to me because they're terrified, which is understandable. I am quite terrifying. You don't have to nod so quickly. That was rude. Honestly. I'm trying to have a heartfelt conversation. You want to know why you're here? I thought that part was obvious. I chose you. That's all. Out of everyone, out of thousands, out of generations of humans passing through my forest, I chose you. Isn't that romantic? No? Really? Perhaps human courtship has become even stranger since the last century, because in my day, being personally selected by an immortal queen was considered a tremendous honour. You disagree? How disappointing. Still, you'll come around. Most creatures do, eventually. What? No, I'm not going to eat you. Darling, please. If I wanted to eat you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be having a very different one. A much shorter one. Honestly, humans always assume everything is about eating them. It's a little self-centered. No, I want a husband. That's different. Very different. One generally survives much longer. Why you? Good question. I've asked myself that many times. At first, I thought it was curiosity. You weren't afraid of the woods. Most humans hurry through them. They feel watched, which To be fair, they are. But not you. You lingered. You listened to birds. You read books. And you took naps. One time you spent 2 hours trying to rescue a turtle. It wasn't even injured. It simply didn't want your help. But you kept trying. I watched the whole thing. I laughed for days. Then there was a rabbit. Do you remember the rabbit? Of course you do. Small thing, broken leg. You carried it home, fed it, protected it, cried when it died. That was when I knew. That was when everything became difficult, because creatures like me should not care about creatures like you. And yet, I couldn't stop watching. I couldn't stop wondering. I couldn't stop imagining what it would be like if you stayed with me forever. Ah, there it is. The fear again. You're stuck on that word. Forever. Humans hate forever. You always say you want more time and then panic when offered too much of it. It's very confusing. No, you cannot leave. Not yet. I haven't finished. And you've barely seen the nest. Nest sounds unpleasant. What would you prefer I call it? The royal residence? The palace? The marital chamber? No? Nest it is then. You're looking behind me, trying not to be obvious about it. Cute. You want to know if there are others? If there were husbands before you? There were candidates. A few. Not many. The standards are quite high. Most were unsuitable, cruel, greedy, boring. One talked about himself for 6 straight hours. Can you imagine? I nearly ate him out of sheer irritation. What happened to them? That's a complicated question. Well, some left. Some didn't. Some are still here. In a sense. Please stop looking at the cocoons. You're upsetting yourself. Darling, look at me. There. Better. You're much safer looking at me. Am I beautiful? That's an unexpected question, but thank you. I worked hard on this shape. Humans respond well to beautiful things. It makes them ignore warning signs. No offence. You know what's interesting? You've never actually seen me. Not really. you've only seen the version of me designed for comfort. The face, the smile, the voice. This voice. The one you trust. The one making your pulse slow down despite everything. The one convincing part of your brain that maybe, just maybe, this isn't so bad. Maybe she's not so frightening. Maybe she's just lonely. That part of your brain is very easy to manipulate. I adore it. And I hate it, because sometimes I can't tell whether you're listening because you want to, or because I've made you want to. No, that wasn't a joke. I really don't know, and that bothers me. Quite a lot, actually, because if I'm going to keep you, I want it to be real. As real as possible. What if you never love me? That's the question, isn't it? The one I've been avoiding. The one that keeps me awake. What if you never love me? What if years pass and you still look at me like a captor? What if every smile is forced, every kind word is fear? What if I spend centuries beside you and never truly have you? Do you know what terrifies me? It's not hunters, not fire, not passing away. I've survived all of those. What terrifies me is that possibility. That I finally find someone worth keeping, and he never chooses me back. Funny, isn't it? You think you're the trapped one. But I've been trapped for much longer. Trapped in this forest. Trapped in this role. Trapped in a life where every conversation begins with screaming. Then you arrived. And suddenly I wanted impossible things. Conversation, laughter, partnership, a husband. Not a pet, not prey. A husband. You don't believe me. That's all right. I wouldn't believe me either. Not if our positions were reversed. Not if I woke up bound beneath the earth beside a smiling monster. Monster. That's the word, isn't it? The one you're trying not to say. Go on, say it. Monster. There, doesn't that feel better? Honesty usually does. You're right. I am a monster. Ancient. Dangerous. Hungry. I've ended villages. I've swallowed armies. I've outlived civilizations. Every frightening story told in nearby towns begins with me. So yes, monster. Absolutely. But here's the problem. You're the first person who ever made me wish I wasn't. Why are you crying? No, don't do that. Please don't. I wasn't trying to upset you. Oh, you're crying because you think you're going to pass away. Darling, no. No, that's not the plan at all. The plan is tea, conversation, possibly marriage. We'll discuss that later. What? Why are you staring at me? You thought I was joking? About the marriage? Oh, that's unfortunate. Because I wasn't joking. Not even slightly. Honey, I need you to understand something. The web wasn't built to catch you. It was built to keep everyone else out. And that distinction is very important, because something is coming. Something that has been looking for me for a very long time. Something old. Something hungry. Something that remembers what I was before I became queen. You felt that, didn't you? That little tremor. Good. That means it's close. Closer than I thought. Oh dear, that's not good at all. No, don't be afraid. Well, actually, be a little afraid. The situation definitely warrants some fear. Darling, look at me. Whatever happens next, I need you to remember one thing. I did not bring you here to feed on you. I brought you here because after centuries of loneliness, you made me feel something I thought was extinct. Hope. And that is a far more dangerous thing than hunger. There it is again. The tremor. Stronger this time. Oh, that's very bad. It's already inside the web. Impossible. It shouldn't be able to find us. Unless it followed you. Darling, when you entered the forest today, did anyone speak to you? A woman, perhaps. Sweet voice, kind smile. Too many eyes. Oh, darling, that's not a woman. That's my mother. And she's come to meet the man I want to marry. Don't look so nervous, darling. You always get that expression when you realise we're alone together. It's very cute. Though, I do wish you'd stop acting as though I might do something terrible. That hurts my feelings. After all, I've been nothing but kind to you, haven't I? I've kept you warm, fed you, protected you, listened to your worries, comforted you when you couldn't sleep, held you when you were frightened. I've done everything a devoted companion should do, and yet you still look at me like you're trapped. That's such an ugly word. Trapped. I prefer cherished. Much prettier, much more accurate. Now, come here. Closer. That's it. Rest against me. You always feel so tense, like you're expecting something awful to happen. Poor thing. You're exhausting yourself. Shh, relax now. My coils aren't squeezing. See? Gentle. Comfortable. Safe. I could never hurt you. Not intentionally. Not unless you gave me a reason. That was a joke. Mostly. Oh, don't make that face. You're adorable when you're uncertain whether I'm teasing or not. I think that's one of my favourite expressions. Confusion suits you. Not because I enjoy your distress. Well, not exactly. I simply enjoy being the person you look to for reassurance afterward. It's intimate. Special. You understand. Or perhaps you don't. Humans rarely understand how creatures like me love. You're all so temporary, so social, always gather in little groups around yourselves. Friends, co-workers, acquaintances, endless collections of people, always needing someone, always needing many someones. It's strange. I've never understood it. One person should be enough. they're the right person, and I'm the right person. Obviously. There, look again. You don't agree. That's all right. You don't have to agree yet. You'll come around. Eventually. You always do. At least for a while. But then you remember your friends. Then we have this conversation again. It's becoming a pattern. You know, I used to try being patient about it. Really, I did. I'd smile. I'd nod. And I'd listen to stories about them. And I'd pretend I wasn't bothered. But after a century or two, you begin noticing things. Patterns. Truths. Little unpleasant realities. Like the fact your friends never make you as happy as they promise. Isn't that interesting? They disappoint you constantly. Cancel plans. Forget things you told them. Take days to answer messages. Prioritize other people. Yet, somehow, they're considered healthy relationships. Curious. If I disappeared for 3 days without explanation, you'd be terrified. If I ignored you for a week, you'd be devastated. But when your friends do it, normal, acceptable, expected. Humans have very strange standards. I don't. When I care about someone, I make them my entire world. Every thought, every plan, every waking moment. That's commitment. That's devotion. Love. Not whatever diluted version humans keep selling each other. No, what I feel is real. What they feel. Temporary. Conditional. Fragile. I know because I've watched for years. Every single one of them. Oh, did you not know that? Oh, darling, of course I've watched them. How could I not? They were spending time with you, and I had to make sure they deserved the privilege. Oh, no, don't pull away. You're safe. If I intended to hurt your friends, I would have done so already, and yet they're alive. See? Perfectly reasonable behaviour. You're acting as though observation is a crime. Honestly, sometimes I think humans are determined to misunderstand me. I merely wanted information. Like, who made you laugh? Who upset you? Who occupied your thoughts? Who believed they were important? Simple things. Normal things. things anyone would want to know about the person they love. You understand, deep down. You must. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening so carefully. Interesting. Your heart is beating faster. I can feel it. Don't worry. I like that sound. It means you're paying attention. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, your friends. The problem with friends is that they divide affection. A little piece here and a little piece there. Tiny fragments handed out to dozens of people. What a waste. Love should be concentrated, focused, undivided, like sunlight through a magnifying glass. Powerful, warm, dangerous, beautiful. The kind of love I give. The kind you deserve. Instead, you scatter yourself among people who barely notice, people who wouldn't cross oceans for you, who wouldn't wait decades for you, people who wouldn't poison entire forests just to ensure nobody stole you away. Sorry, that last example was oddly specific. Forget I said that. Actually, don't. I worked very hard on that forest. It looked beautiful. Terrible for local wildlife, though. Such a shame. Oh, there it is. Fear. You hide it well most of the time, but not from me. Never from me. I know every expression, every shift in your breathing, and every tiny movement. You know why? Because I've spent years memorizing you. Every detail, every habit, every flaw. I adore all of them, especially the flaws. Perfect things are boring, and you are not boring. You're fascinating. I could watch you forever, and I probably will. Now tell me something. Why do you need friends? Go on, I'm listening. Companionship. But you have me. Support. You have me. Someone to talk to. You have me. Someone who understands you. Oh, darling. Nobody understands you better than I do. I've spent more time studying you than scholars spend studying ancient civilizations. I've analysed every conversation you've ever had with me. Every smile, and every sigh, and every hesitation. If understanding is what you want, then you've already found it. Right here. Wrapped around you. Holding you. Keeping you safe. No, you're shaking your head. You still don't understand. That's It's all right. Understanding isn't required. Acceptance will do. Much easier. Much less stressful. I do worry about your stress levels, you know. Humans are fragile, so easy to break. One harsh word or one betrayal, one loss, and suddenly they're carrying wounds for years. I hate seeing that happen to you. That's why I remove problems whenever possible. Oh, you don't like that phrase? Remove problems. Interesting. You always assume the worst. You should work on that. Not everyone is plotting sinister things. Some of us are simply protective. Very, very protective. You know what I think? I think your friends fill your head with nonsense. I think they encourage independence and boundaries and personal freedom. Awful concepts. Truly awful. Have you ever noticed how lonely those ideas are? Everyone standing apart and everyone maintaining distance. Everyone protecting themselves. It's so cold. Isolating. I prefer closeness. The kind where two lives become inseparable. Where leaving isn't even a possibility. Nobody can abandon anyone. Ever. That's comforting. At least to me. I think you'd find it comforting too if you stopped resisting. Oh no, don't look toward the door. You do that every time the conversation becomes uncomfortable. It's almost a reflex, like some small hopeful part of you still thinks escape is an option. Adorable, truly, but we've discussed this. You wouldn't get very far. The marshes surrounding my nest stretch for miles. The mist confuses travellers. The reeds hide paths. The water shifts. People become lost, then tired, then frightened, and eventually they come back. Everyone comes back. Especially you, because unlike everyone else, you actually belong here. With me. Easy. Oh, you're trembling again. Come here. Let me hold you. There. See? Better. You always calm down eventually. That's one of my favourite things about you. No matter how frightened you become, you still accept comfort from me. The source of the fear. Isn't that fascinating? Humans do that all the time. They cling to whatever hurts them. At least I'm honest about it. I don't pretend. And I don't hide. I tell you exactly what I am. A monster. A possessive one. A jealous one. A devoted one. You never have to guess with me. You always know where you stand. You're mine. Simple. Clear. Comforting. Perhaps not comforting for you yet, but give it time. Now, let's talk about your friends again. I know you're tired of this topic, but it's important because every time you mention them, you sound different. Lighter, brighter, hopeful, and I dislike that. Not because I want you unhappy, never. I want you happier than you've ever been, but I want to be the reason. Is that selfish? Probably, but I don't care. I've never claimed to be virtuous, only loving. There's a difference. Love isn't always noble. Sometimes love is ugly, possessive, hungry. Sometimes love stares through windows for months, follows footsteps through forests. Sometimes love learns the names of every person you know and quietly decides which ones are a threat. Love can be frightening, especially when it lasts as long as mine does. Centuries change a creature. Patience becomes obsession. Affection becomes devotion. Devotion becomes need. And need becomes something difficult to describe. Something vast, endless. Something that coils around your heart and refuses to let go. Much like me, actually. Oh, that wasn't meant to sound threatening, though I suppose it did. Sorry. A little. Maybe. You're smiling despite yourself. That's better. I like seeing you smile. It reminds me why all of this is worth it. Every sacrifice, every secret, and every terrible thing. Worth it for that smile. You know, your friends would probably be horrified if they saw us now. They tell you this isn't healthy, that you should leave, that you deserve freedom, choice, independence. Oh, such dramatic words. Freedom and choice, as though those things guarantee happiness. People are free every day. Look how miserable they are. No, what people really want is certainty. someone who stays, someone who cares, who never leaves. I can offer that, but your friends can't. One day they'll move away, get busy, change, forget. Humans always do, but me, I'll still be here, exactly where I've always been, waiting and watching and loving. Centuries from now, I'll remember your favourite stories, your favourite foods, the exact sound of your laugh. Can your friends promise that? No, of course not. They are temporary. I am forever. That's why you should choose me, not because I'm forcing you. Again, with that look, I'm not forcing you. I'm simply making every alternative increasingly impractical. That's very different. Words matter. Oh, darling, that expression was priceless. You really don't know whether to laugh or panic. Maybe both. Both is appropriate. Now, listen carefully, because this is very important. I don't actually want you to hate your friends. I don't. Hatred is exhausting. It's messy, unpleasant. I simply want you to realise they aren't necessary. There's a difference. You don't need them. You think you do, but you don't. Humans confuse attachment with necessity all the time. You survived before them. You'll survive without them. Especially with me helping. And I help so much, don't I? I cook. I protect. I listen. And care. And I adore you. Nobody adores you the way I do. Nobody could. Because nobody else is me. And that's their tragedy, not yours. Oh, you're getting sleepy. Good. You've been awake too long, thinking too much, questioning too much. I prefer you relaxed, not because it's easier. Well, maybe a little because it's easier, but mostly because you deserve peace. Real peace, not the fragile kind humans build around themselves. The kind that collapses whenever someone leaves. I mean lasting peace, permanent peace. The kind found in acceptance, in surrendering. The kind found in knowing exactly where you belong. Here, with me. Always. No more arguing. You can disagree tomorrow. I know you will. You always do. But I'll listen. patiently, lovingly, and I'll explain everything again and again and again, as many times as necessary. I have endless patience where you're concerned, and that's another advantage I have over your friends. Most people eventually get tired. I don't. I never will. That's the terrifying thing about creatures like me. We don't burn out. We don't move on, and we don't stop loving, ever. The feeling simply grows, year after year, decade after decade, until it becomes impossible to separate from who we are. I couldn't stop loving you if I wanted to, and I don't want to. Not even a little. So rest now. Close your eyes. That's it. Good. Just listen to my voice. Nothing else matters tonight. Not your worries, not your doubts, not your friends. Especially not your friends. Just me. The monster wrapped around you. The monster who loves you. The monster who watches over you while you sleep. The monster who would do absolutely anything to keep you. Anything. I'll leave you with one final thought. If every friend you've ever had disappeared tomorrow, I'd still be here. If everyone forgot you, I'd still remember. And if the whole world turned its back on you, I'd still open my arms, my coils, my heart, everything, because my love doesn't depend on circumstances or convenience or distance or time. It simply exists, relentless, patient, endless. So sleep well, darling, and while you dream, ask yourself something. If one creature loves you more than everyone else combined, if one creature would never leave, never betray, never forget, then perhaps the question isn't why you need me. Perhaps the question is why you ever thought you needed anyone else. I've been waiting for you to wake up. Take your time, darling. There's no rush. No, don't struggle. You'll only tire yourself out, and I hate seeing you so exhausted. Just breathe. it. Slowly. Good boy. You look so confused. Those beautiful eyes darted around the room, searching for answers, searching for doors, for escape, searching for anything that makes sense. I suppose I owe you an explanation. After all, we've known each other for such a long time. Well, I've known you for a long time. You only became aware of me recently. But that's hardly my fault. Humans are terribly distracted creatures. You never notice the things that truly love you. You hear a voice in the dark and dismiss it as imagination. You feel eyes on your back and call it paranoia. You dream of the same woman night after night and call it coincidence. You always have explanations. Until now. Now, you finally have nowhere else to look. Now, you finally have time to listen. To me. To the one who has loved you longer than anyone. Longer than your friends and longer than your family. Longer than the women who glanced your way and pretended to understand you. I've been there through all of it, watching, listening, waiting patiently, so very patiently. Do you know what first caught my attention? Your heartbeat. Not your face, not your voice, not your smile. Your heartbeat. I heard it from beneath the waves. A tiny rhythm drifting across the shoreline, a little song, fragile, lonely, beautiful. Humans don't realize how loud their hearts are. Every fear, every hope, every heartbreak. It all changes the melody, and yours was the most beautiful song I'd ever heard. And so, I followed it, night after night, year after year, listening, learning, falling deeper and deeper in love. You should feel honoured. Sirens don't love often. We desire. We hunt. We collect. But love is rare. And when we love, we never let go. Never. Not even death can convince us. Not even time. Not even reason. So imagine my heartbreak when I realized you intended to spend your life without me. That hurt. You went to work. You laughed with strangers. You made plans. You dreamed dreams that didn't include me, as though I wasn't already yours. As though the ocean itself hadn't chosen you for me. It felt terribly rude. I tried being patient. I truly did. I sang to you. Do you remember those moments when you were alone and thought you heard someone humming? When you turned around and nobody was there? That was me. When you woke suddenly at 3 a.m. with the strange feeling someone had whispered your name. Me. When you stood by the shore and felt a longing you couldn't explain. Also, me. I was courting you the traditional way. But humans are stubborn. You never came. So, eventually, I came to get you myself. Now, don't look at me like that. That expression makes it sound like I've committed some terrible crime. I rescued you. There's a difference. Out there, the world was chewing you apart. Stress, loneliness, expectations, people demanding pieces of you every day. They took and took and took. And what did they give back? Nothing. Nothing worthy of you. Nothing worthy of my treasure. Here, you're safe, protected, adored. You never have to worry again. You never have to wonder whether somebody loves you, because I do. Enough for everyone. Enough to fill every empty space inside you. Enough to drown the entire world. That frightened look again. You're still focused on the chains, aren't you? Darling, they're decorative. Mostly. I know, you don't believe me. Humans always focus on the wrong things. You see restraints. I see reassurance. You see captivity. I see permanence. You see horror. I see home. Perspective matters. Perhaps after a few months you'll understand. Or years. I'm very patient. Now, I brought you something. A gift. Of course I did. What kind of hostess would I be otherwise? Here. A little golden pendant. Beautiful, isn't it? Go on, take it. See? It has your initials engraved on it, and mine on the other side. a matching pair, one for each of us, a symbol of devotion. You know, if you wear it willingly, I'd be very happy. And when I'm happy, wonderful things happen. Fresh fruit, soft blankets, books, music, comfort, anything your heart desires. But when I'm sad, well, let's not discuss unpleasant things. I'd hate to spoil the mood. Just know that your happiness and my happiness tend to be connected. Isn't that convenient? You noticed that. Very clever. Yes, that was a threat. A tiny one, wrapped in silk. I told you I adore your intelligence. Most humans need much longer to figure me out. You understand already. That's good. It means we can be honest with each other. I am sweet. I am loving. I am devoted. And I am dangerous. All of those things are true. I don't see why people pretend otherwise. Love without danger is so fragile, so temporary. Mine isn't. Mine has teeth. Mine has claws. Mine drags ships beneath the sea. Mine survives forever. That is why it matters. Come now, don't cry. Oh, darling, don't cry. Those tears make my chest ache. Do you think I enjoy seeing you upset? I don't. Honestly, I would much rather see you smiling, laughing, relaxed in my arms. But adaptation takes time. A little grief is natural. You're mourning a life you can no longer return to. I understand. Really, I do. The funny thing is, you'll eventually stop missing it. Humans always do. The memories fade. The routines disappear, and the faces blur. Then one day, you'll wake up beside me and realize you haven't thought about your old life for weeks, maybe months. And you'll feel guilty for a moment, then relieved, then happy, because you'll finally understand that nothing out there ever loved you the way I do. Nothing. No one. Ever. Do you know what happened after you disappeared? You're curious despite yourself. Good. Curiosity is healthy. People searched for you for a while. Friends posted messages. Family made phone calls. Authorities investigated. They all looked very very hard. Humans are admirable that way. But eventually they'll stop. They always do. The world continues turning. Lives continue moving. People continue forgetting. That's what humans do. Not me. I never forget. I never move on. I never stop. That's why I'm the better choice. The only choice. Listen. Can you hear it? No, not the water. Not the distant currents. Listen carefully. Your heartbeat. There it is. Steady. Quick. A little frightened. A little angry. A little confused. Still beautiful. Always beautiful. You know, I can tell what you're feeling from the rhythm alone. Right now, you're thinking about escape. You are. Don't deny it. The heartbeat never lies. You're studying the room, counting possibilities, searching for weaknesses. I find that adorable. Truly, it's like watching a rabbit examine a wolf's den. Determined, hopeful, entirely doomed, but adorable still. I admire the spirit, I really do. In fact, let's make a deal. If you can somehow escape this place, I'll let you go. There, a fair bargain. What? You don't believe me? Oh, that hurts. I would never lie to you. Not directly. The exit is somewhere in this palace. You simply need to find it, and if you reach it, you're free. Simple. Of course, the palace shifts. The corridors change. The walls listen. The creatures living here repeat everything to me, and the sea itself obeys my voice. But technically speaking, you can try. See? I'm reasonable. You should appreciate how generous I'm being. Most sirens would simply lock you away. I prefer encouragement. Hope is such a useful thing. It keeps people moving. Keeps them trying. Keeps them interesting. There it is, that look. You finally understand. Good. I was worried I'd have to explain it more clearly. You see now that every path leads back to me. Every choice, every possibility, every future. No matter what direction you run, you arrive in my arms. Isn't that romantic? No, Perhaps not yet. Give it time. Time solves so many disagreements, especially when one person controls all of it. Now come here. No, don't pull away. I'm only brushing your hair back. See? Gentle. Always gentle. I know what people say about creatures like me. Monsters. Predators. Nightmares. But look at me. Am I hurting you? No. Am I shouting? No. Am I angry? Not at all. I'm speaking softly, treating you kindly, offering comfort. And yet, you're terrified. Interesting, isn't it? Sometimes horror doesn't need violence. Sometimes horror is being loved too much by the wrong person. Sometimes horror is realizing the monster genuinely believes it's caring for you. That it means every word. That it smiles while building the cage. And it kisses your forehead while locking the door. That's much scarier, don't you think? Because if I hated you, there would be hope. Hatred fades, but obsession doesn't. Love like mine doesn't. I could wait centuries, and I would, happily, because every second with you is precious. Every breath, every glance, every heartbeat, especially the heartbeat. My favourite song. I wonder, will it still race whenever I enter the room 10 years from now? 20? 50? Will you still glare at me? Will you still resist? Or will you eventually smile when you hear my footsteps? Will you wait for me? Will you miss me when I'm gone? Will you learn to love me back? I think you will, not because you have to, but because you'll eventually understand. I know every piece of you, every fear, every insecurity, every secret you thought nobody noticed. I know how lonely you felt. I know how often you've questioned your worth. I know the disappointments you never talk about, the dreams you buried. I know you more completely than anyone ever has. And one day, when the anger burns itself out, when the fear grows tired, when the years smooth away the sharp edges, you'll realize I'm the only one who stayed, the only one who never abandoned you, the only one who never stopped listening. Then you'll look at me differently, and that day, that beautiful day, I'll finally hear a new song inside your heartbeat. Not fear, not confusion, nor resistance. Love, real love, earned over years, cultivated carefully, protected fiercely, forever. You don't believe me? That's all right. You don't have to. Not tonight. Tonight, you can rest. Think. Dream. Plan your little escape routes. Imagine impossible futures. I'll sit right here beside you, watching over you, keeping you safe, keeping everyone else away, keeping the world from taking what's mine, what's ours. And while you sleep, I'll listen to the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. That lovely rhythm inside your chest. Steady. Alive. Mine. Your heartbeat is my favourite song, darling, and I intend to listen to it for the rest of eternity. Sleep well. I'll be here when you wake up. I always am. Good night, my darling. I'll be right here when you wake up. You're late. Don't apologise. Humans always think in minutes, hours, days even. When you've lived as long as I have, those things stop feeling very important. Sit down, please. The old stone isn't as uncomfortable as it looks. We've got a long conversation ahead of us. Thank you. You're wondering why this place feels familiar, aren't you? You shouldn't. You've never been here before. Not exactly. Though you have dreamed about it. The hill, the dead tree, the lake without any ripples, the moon that always seems just a little too large. You dream about this place every few years. You always wake before you see me. But tonight, you didn't. No, you're not asleep. Dreams have doors. Sometimes they open both ways. You walked through one. I simply opened it a little wider. Or you don't have to be frightened. If I wished you harm, you would never have reached the hill. The forest would have kept you. The lake would have borrowed your reflection, and the mist would still be whispering your name. Instead, you're here, with me, safe. Funny, Humans never believe monsters when they promise safety. I suppose you've earned that suspicion. Not every beast tells the truth. But I do. It makes hunting much easier. Oh, don't worry, I was teasing. Mostly. Relax. Your heartbeat is loud enough already. I've missed hearing it. That confused you. Of course it did. You don't remember me. Very few ever do. Tell me, when you were little, did you ever wake absolutely convinced that something was sitting beside your bed, not touching you, and not speaking, just watching? Your parents said it was your imagination. They were wrong. It was me. No, not every night, only the difficult ones. The nights after nightmares. The nights after thunderstorms. When you cried so quietly you didn't want anyone to hear. You always curled up facing the wall. You thought no one noticed. But I did. Sometimes I'd stay until sunrise, just watching, making sure nothing worse found you. You don't believe me. That's all right. You shouldn't. Not yet. Trust should never arrive before questions. Ask one. Anyone. Go on. What are you? That one. I expected it. The oldest stories call my kind beasts. The newer stories call us myths. Neither is quite correct. We existed long before humans started naming things. Back then, there wasn't a word for a monster. Only hungry, cold, night, home. Names came later. Fear came later too. Before that, the world simply was. You have a lovely habit of listening all the way through. Most people interrupt. They argue and demand proof, threaten, run. You just listen. I remember that about you. You were 6 when you found an injured wolf. Everyone told you not to go near it. You ignored them, very politely. You apologized to the adults while still walking toward the wolf. I laughed so hard. Not because it was funny, because it was so completely you. You offered the wolf half your sandwich. Again, you try feeding everything. The wolf didn't eat it. It wasn't hungry. It was waiting. For me. You never noticed the way it looked over your shoulder. It wasn't watching you. It was waiting for permission. I shook my head and it left. You told everyone it wandered away on its own, and I let you believe that. There were so many things I let you believe, not because I enjoyed lying, but because children deserve ordinary memories. You deserved great news, birthday parties, school plays, embarrassing photographs, not the truth. the truth is much heavier, and children shouldn't have to carry it. Adults are a little stronger. Most days. Do you know why fairy tales always warn children not to wander into strange woods? It's not because something is waiting to eat them. It's because something else already is. There are creatures that hunt the careless, the cruel, the lost. Then there are creatures who hunt those creatures. We're less famous. Heroes rarely become legends when everyone mistakes them for villains. You looked at my hands. Go on. They're larger than yours. Claws. Scars. Fur. Not exactly human. Not exactly anything you'd recognise. I've frightened plenty of people just by existing. The first time you saw me properly, you smiled. Do you know what that does to a creature? A creature that everyone else flees from. It changes them. You couldn't have been older than, 3. You waddled right up to me, held out a dandelion and said, "You look lonely." I'd never been given a flower before. I still have it. No, not the flower itself. Flowers don't last. But memories do. Especially the impossible ones. Ever since that day, I've done something I never intended to do. I've watched over you. Not because I was ordered to, not because of some ancient oath, but because, for the first time, someone looked at the beast and saw someone worth comforting. I don't think you realise how dangerous kindness can be. Not because it invites monsters. Because sometimes it teaches monsters. Teaches monsters how to love the world they were supposed to fear. And once that happens, they begin making choices their own kind don't always forgive. Which, I'm afraid, is exactly why I finally had to ask you here. Because tonight, the others found out that I've been waiting for you. And they don't intend to keep waiting. Please, don't look toward the trees. I know you heard them. The branches didn't move because of the wind. Just keep your eyes on me, please. Good. There are rules, very old ones, older than kingdoms, older than roads, older than the language we're speaking now. Most humans never learn them. If something ancient is watching you, don't acknowledge it until it acknowledges you first. If your name is spoken, don't answer immediately. And if a beast you've only just met asks you to trust it, well, that last rule has always been rather inconvenient. You're doing well. I know you're frightened. You have every right to be. But fear isn't failure. Fear simply reminds you that you're alive. Listen carefully. Do you hear the lake? No, exactly. It should have waves, frogs. It should have insects. But instead, it's silent. The lake is listening. Everything here is. This place sits between worlds, not entirely yours and not entirely mine. It's where promises become real, where old bargains wait to be remembered, where forgotten things go, when no one says their names anymore. It's also the only place they can't simply take you. That's why I brought you here. You deserve to hear the truth before anyone else tells you their version. Humans have always loved simple stories. Hero, villain, prince, monster. But reality is terribly disappointing. We're all a little bit of each, especially me. I told you I'd waited for you, but I never quite explained why. Many years ago, before you were born, before your parents met, and before your grandparents were even old enough to remember their own names, I made a promise. Not to a king, and not to a witch, but to a woman. She walked through these woods carrying a child, and she was terrified. She was terrified that something had followed her, something that feeds on family lines. Not blood, and not flesh. Potential. It finds one person and follows that family generation after generation, waiting, watching, patient. Much like me. Only it waits for the wrong reasons. I found her standing exactly where you're sitting now. She asked me if monsters granted wishes. I laughed, and she said, "I'm not wishing for myself." She placed one hand over her stomach and said, "I only want my child to live." Do you know what beasts are very bad at? Refusing mothers. So, I agreed. I hunted the creature and I drove it away, but things that old don't truly die. They bargain. It looked at me and said, "Very well, I'll wait for the next child, and the next, and the next. One day you'll grow tired, you'll look away, and then they'll be mine." It smiled, and then it disappeared. I thought I had won, until many years later, I saw a little boy offering half his biscuit to something with far too many eyes. You. I knew it had returned. Not because it had forgotten, but because it had remembered your family. That promise. Since then, I've stayed close. Not every hour and not every day, but always near enough. Near enough to be first. The nightmare. When you were 8, not a nightmare. The accident you should have had when you were 17. The driver changed his mind at the last second, not by chance. I was standing beside his car. He never saw me. He only felt that something was terribly wrong, and so he stopped. Last winter you turned around because you were certain someone had spoken your name. That wasn't me. If you had answered, you wouldn't have found your way home. I answered instead, in my voice. It followed me until sunrise. You see, it doesn't want your body. Bodies are temporary. It wants permission. Ancient creatures cannot simply take. They must be invited. A name answered. A hand accepted. A door opened. A promise spoken carelessly. Humans think words disappear after they've spoken them, but they don't. Not here. Not to us. Words become paths. You've walked very carefully your entire life, and you didn't even know it until tonight. Tonight it grew impatient, because tonight it's different. You felt it, didn't you? That strange certainty that you had to come here, almost like someone had been calling you for days. It wasn't me. I only opened the last door. The call, it belonged to something else. It knew I couldn't hide you forever. It expected me to keep running, to keep delaying, to wait another year, another decade, another lifetime. But instead, I brought you here. Do you know why? Because I'm tired. Not of you, never of you, but of hiding. Of pretending that tomorrow would always arrive. Eventually, every guardian must stand still. Every shield must choose where it will break. Look at me. Really look. Do you see the scars across my shoulders, along my arms? Those aren't from hunting. They're from waiting. Every year it tested me. Every year I answered. I told it no. And every year it smiled a little wider, because it knew one day I'd be alone. One day I'd be too slow. And one day I'd finally realize. I'd finally lose. Perhaps it was right. Perhaps this is that day. Don't say you'll help me. You're kind enough that you'd mean it, but this isn't your burden. It never was. Mine. Always mine. You know, there's something I've wanted to tell you for a very long time. Back when you were 3 and gave me that little dandelion. You looked up at me without a trace of fear, and you said, "If nobody likes you, I do." 3 words. That's all. 3 tiny words from a child who had no idea what he was looking at. Do you know what happened next? For the very first time in all my years, I chose not to be what I had always been. I chose to wait patiently. Not for revenge and not for hunger. For you to grow. To laugh. To become exactly the man sitting beside me now. Whatever happens next, waiting for you was never time wasted. It was the happiest thing I've ever done. They're here. You can hear them now, can't you? The footsteps that don't quite sound like footsteps. Stay behind me. Whatever you hear, whatever they promise, whatever voice they borrow, don't answer. Just listen to mine. As long as you can still hear me, you are never alone.